Hey, hey, hey. So today we're going to be talking about fresh starts financially and just going into how a fresh start doesn't change your life, your finances, it's systems. So if that's something you need to hear about or want to hear about, or if you're someone who's starting over financially over and over and over again, this live is for you. Stay tuned. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Talk Tuesday. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's your first time, Talk Tuesday is our weekly segment where we go over tips to help you enhance your finances. I'm Coach D, your financial coach, and I want to help you to reach and exceed your financial goals while still enjoying life in the process. Hey, hey, hey. So we're here on YouTube, and also today I'm trying to go live also on my Instagram at the same time. So if you've been here before this sometime in 2026, you know that each week I'm sharing the live somewhere else. So the first week we did my personal page, the second week we did LinkedIn, the third week we did my business page, and now we're trying to add Instagram. However, I don't know if the comments from Instagram will show up here or not. So if you are commenting on Instagram and I'm not saying anything, I probably can't see it and I'll respond after the live. Of course, if I can see those things, because I haven't been live on Instagram in a couple years. I used to go live. That's where I originally started going live on Instagram for 2 years straight, starting in 2021. Then I shifted over to YouTube in 2023. Hey, 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 thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's get into it. I don't want to be, spend all the time talking and not talking about this subject. So I won't hold you, long as always, but today we're going to be talking about building financial systems that actually stick. So a lot of times every Monday or hey, thank you for tuning in, or every January we want to get straight with our finances again, or if we're doing something that's like, all right, I'm going to start Monday. All right, I'm going to start the next Monday. We pick a time to start, and we don't always stick to it. So we're motivated, and we're like, you know what, I want to do this the right way this time, and I'm going to wait until next Monday. So we just keep going. We just keep doing it over and over again. I always compare your finances, trying to get your finances together, kind of like weight loss. Like, you're doing something, you have to keep at it, you have to keep going to see the results. So, it's something similar. So what really is a financial system? It's just something that supports you, when your motivation disappears, when it fades away. I'm motivated and I'm rolling, I'm doing this. And you know what? I'm tired of doing the same thing I've been doing. Well, that's why we need systems to help us stay on track, something that we can follow. So, fresh starts feel good, but our systems will help us to stay consistent. All right. So why do our fresh starts fail? Well, our fresh starts fail because we don't have that system in place, and you know, assuming things won't be different. Like, with life happens. So this week, if you're in an area, most areas in the country receive snow. That could have affected you. Whereas if you're someone who you only make money when you work. If you're someone who maybe you get paid, you have sick time or you have annual leave you can use, but different things affect different people different ways. So if you're someone who, you make money based on going out there and doing something, life happened yesterday, you weren't able to go to work, or you missed time, or your car was down, or whatever it could have been, you didn't make money. So not having a system in place will prevent you from making that money, which will throw your finances off, will throw away your motivation because I'm motivated, I'm killing it, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But then now I couldn't get this money. I couldn't make my money. So I'm planning on my normal monthly amount, but I'm not making my monthly amount. So I can't do what I need to do. So now my motivation is done. I'm hot. I'm irritated. I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't plan for this. So that's why we put systems in place. So when something happens outside of the normal, we can be prepared for it. You know, um, you know, sometimes we're trying to do something different, but we don't change anything. So if we're someone who, for example, let's just use packing lunch at work. Like if you're someone who eats out all the time and you're trying to save money and you say like, all right, I'm going to start packing my lunch, and you do it for a week, and You're like, oh, I'm not doing this. I don't have time for this. I'm going to just buy my stuff. Well, reverting back, things didn't change, so nothing's going to change. It worked for that week while you changed. And then when you have a system in place, maybe you can decide I'm going to do just a little bit, not a lot. I'm going to, pack 2 days a week, or I'm going to pack 3 days a week, or even one. You don't have to start where you are, not trying to overdo it. A lot of times we'll try to take a really big step for something that we've been doing for a long time. And it's hard to just stop cold turkey. So there's different things like that might be not be the thing that's affecting your finances, but there's something that you could be doing that's affecting your finances. So learning how to stop doing that thing or slow it down until you get to a place where you can, bring it back to, how you want to do it. So if it were, for example, that packing your lunch, if you're buying, lunch every day is $20, or, because if you're ordering and they have to deliver it and tip and all those things. So it adds up quickly. That could be $15 a day. That could be $20 a day. I don't know how much it, will cost you, but it adds up. So trying to slow that down and save money and put money other places could help you. So having a system in place. So you have to decide what your system is. So just to go over a couple of different systems. So true. I'm just looking at the comments. So true. I've been talking and talking and talking. I'm not sure what I was talking about when you said so true, but yeah. So, having a system. So I'm going to go over just a couple systems that maybe you can use. Some you may already be using, some you may not be using, some maybe you tried and you just need to try them again. So a system you could try is, being aware of your spending, that type of system. Like, okay, not saying I'm going in, I'm auditing and everything, but I'm going in, I'm looking. I'm actually seeing what's going on. I'm checking it out. I'm taking time every week to go and just look like, all right, so what did I do? What did I spend? How much came out? How much went in? And I can just skim and see, okay, I spent this, just taking a look. Be aware of what you're spending, how much you're spending. And if you do it weekly, you can see how much I spent this week. You check next week, how much I spend, that week, and then you're able to compare because you're checking more often. So you're able to see, okay, last week I spent $200. Maybe this week I spent $100, so now I'm like, oh, all right, so let me peek, let me compare and see what I did differently. You might have to adjust things, but just being able to have that system in place to check it out, you can see what's going on. You'll know what's going on. You're aware of what's going on. Another system that you might have in place could be a savings for your savings, some type of system where you don't have to think about saving. Like, all right, so I have to remember on my payday to go move money over, have a system in place where it's automatically moving. It's automatically going somewhere to your savings account, maybe to a different bank or different financial institution. If it's not a bank, credit union, wherever it's going, but have your system in place so that your savings is already happening, your savings is building, and it's a free system to have. You're able to allow it to grow, because sometimes when we say, all right, I'm going to do it when I get paid, then we get paid and we go out, start having a good time, start doing whatever we want to do as it's our money. You know what I mean? But then you might come Monday or Tuesday and then there's nothing left to put into that savings. So having that system in place, you've already got your savings taken care of. It's already out, and you can go on to whatever you wanted to do. Another system I have on here, a payday, like for your bills, like for your, let's say, for your bills, every paycheck you're paying your bills. You might have to have a schedule of what I'm paying. So plan that for the month. Or if I know if I'm getting paid on the 1st and the 15th, I know which bills I'm paying on the 1st, which bills I'm paying on the 15th. If it's, every 2 weeks, and of course those dates will change, but having that system in place of which bills I pay when. So then it's not a matter of, what am I supposed to pay now? Or, oh, I missed this payment, or, oh, I forgot that was due, because life happens and sometimes we're rolling and those things, slip our mind. So having that system in place, having a planner, I'm not going to pull my planner out because I will, but, having something that helps you to stick to, the plan that you set in place, having that plan. So that's a big one. I think that one's major. That one's like, for instance, let's say if you have bills that are like lopsided, like most of my bills are due at the beginning of the month. I have a little bit of bills to do at the end of the month. That always messes me up, because then at the beginning of the month, I don't have enough money, or at the end, I have too much money. Like, you have to work it out. You have to figure it out, create a plan. So having that system in place will 100% help you to even things up and work that out. If that's something that you have trouble with or you struggle with or need a little assistance with, that is one of my done for you services. So you can comment ready or click the link in the bio wherever you're watching it. And you can go to my done for you services, go to my website, enhancingyourfinances.com. And that's a service that we provide. That's actually our most popular service where we create the bill schedule for a 12-month period. So you know what to pay, when to pay, how much to pay. You don't have to think about it. You just pull out your bill schedule. But that's a very important system. So if you don't have that system in place, that's the one I recommend. I recommend all of them actually, but something very important. So let me know in the comments if you have any systems in place, any of the ones I listed, or you have a different system in place, because I didn't list a lot of them because I'm not trying to have you here for a long time. So let me know. I'm definitely curious to hear. Let me see if I can see anything on Instagram. Hey, I don't know if you're still on here. I don't know if that affects when I flip screens, but I wonder if you can see what was happening on Instagram. But I can't see comments over there, so I'm not sure. But I was trying to give a second, let there's a delay for the comment to come through. But if you don't have systems in place, I'm not going to hang tight any longer. But if you don't have systems in place, I definitely encourage you to create systems to help you to keep going, because you'll need something to keep you rolling when the motivation stops, something that keeps you on track to, help you to be consistent, something to just be consistent, something to be consistent. A lot of times that accountability, we need that, whether it's a person, or whether it's hopping on live here all the time, because we're always talking about something different. I'm helping you think about different things. I'm giving examples. I'm asking questions. Sometimes we don't want to respond because everybody can see it, and we don't always want to talk about those things. So, just do what you have to do. All right. We want to have a wonderful 2026, financially in all of the ways. So some questions I'll leave you with to think about. Of course, you don't have to put them in the comments, but just to think about them. What part of my life makes consistency hardest for me with my finances? What's happening in your life that it's like, oh, every time I'm trying to be consistent with my finances, this happens, and it just throws me off. Think about that. Take some time, sit down, write some notes or something. If you have a journal or things like that, just write it down, because it's about being aware of what's happening so, you can be prepared for it. So just think about it. What is that? You can also write down, what am I currently trying to remember, instead of, relying on a system. So just like the systems we went over, are you trying to remember to save because you don't have a saving system? Are you trying to remember what bills due because you don't have a bill pay system? Think about that. Sometimes we're trying to do stuff and we're making it harder. We're doing things harder, making them harder than it has to be, when we can do it and make it easier. All right. So think about those things, write those things out, because systems don't fail in perfect weeks. They fail when real life happens. So we want to be prepared and have our systems in place so we can keep going with our finances and reach our goals. So I'll leave you with that. And I hope I encourage you to, if you have financial systems, keep going with them. If you let them, fall over the holiday, get back to them, get back started. If you don't have financial systems, I encourage you to create them, put some in place. Make it easier for you to reach your goals. Make it easier to do what you set out to do, so you can go back to doing things maybe you aren't able to do right now because your finances aren't where you want them to be. Okay. All right. I will see you next week. Same place, same time. YouTube, Enhancing Your Finances, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here for Talk Tuesday, where we go over different things to help you enhance your finances. If you are in the beginning of stages of your finances and you're like, I need to see, what's happening with my finances, I encourage you to download our free financial health check. It should take you about 5 minutes to throw your numbers in, do the calculations we give you to see where you stand, so you know what to work on, in whatever stage you are. You are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I'll see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in.